Hi guys, and welcome back to Afrobeats Unfiltered, episode 16, where we'll be discussing the hottest topics in the world of Afrobeats. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. So let me tell you why ASAKE should have been the number one Afrobeats artist on this list. At the start of the week, Billboard, a prestigious media outlet, released their end of year list, as many media publications do, and this was revealing their top 10 Afrobeats artists and their top 10 Afrobeats songs based on data they had gathered from their charts. So on this top 10 list, we saw the likes of Burna Boy at number 1, Rema in at number 2, Thames was at number 3, Libyanka in at number 4, Wizkid in at 5, Ira Star in at 6, CK in at 7, ASAKE in at number 8, Davido in at 9, and Oxlade in at number 10. So for their top 10 songs, in at number 1 was Rema's Calm Down. You had number 2 was Libyanka's People. Number 3 had Free Minds by Thames. In at number 4 was Essence with Wizkid and Thames. In at number 5 was Last Last by Burna Boy. In at number 6 we had CK's Love Nawantiti. In at number 7 we have Ira Star's Rush. At number 8 we have Fireboy's Peru. We go back in with Thames with Higher. And at number 10 we have Oxade's Colosa. Now let me just stick on the topic of Billboard's top 10 Afrobeats artists. Now this is obviously based on their chart, so this is obviously based on who's listening to what songs are being streamed the most. So in at number 1 was Burna Boy. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at Burna Boy being in at number 1. I love me some Burna Boy. His recent album I Told Them was Chef's Kiss. He has some amazing singles off of that. That album reached number 1 on the UK chart. So it was a solid album. I'm not disputing that. He sold out an 80k capacity in London. He's currently touring. He'll be back in London next summer for his I Told Them tour. Like, Burna Boy has done incredible. Rema, another new gen Prince of Afrobeats, he's also done incredible for the year of 2023. He has sold out stadiums in India. Last week he had his iconic performance at the O2 Arena, a 20k capacity. There's no disputing he should be definitely top 5. This is where it gets a little bit tricky. This is where it gets a little bit political. You have Thames on the list. Don't get me wrong, love Thames, but Thames took a really long break and she only recently came back a few months ago with her new single, Me and You. She obviously had an incredible 2022, but we're talking about 2023. I know this list is based on data, but if I was to compile my own list, a top 10 artist will be based on what you've done in the year, albums you've released, iconic achievements. So Burna Boy is rightly so should be up there. Rema rightly so should be up there. But I would have had Davido in. He currently sits at number 9. And that's the same that goes for Libyanka. She has no bodies of work currently out, no EPs, no albums currently out. And she sits in at number 4, which I understand because People was a viral track. It was a hit record. So it's the data. That's what people are listening to. That's what people are streaming. It's based off of that. So I understand why Billboard have put her in on the charts, but like I said, if I was making my own charts, it will be based on who has done iconic things. And I think if she was going to be on the list, she should have been way near the bottom. I would definitely swap her out and then put in my man of the moment, ASAKE and Davido, because they have both released incredible bodies of works this year. Davido had his amazing timeless album, and ASAKE also had his work of art album. Another artist that's also debatable, that's quite high up on the list, is Wizzy Boy, Wizkid. He is in at number 5. So there's no denying Wizkid's achievements. There's no denying him as an artist. There's no denying that at all. But when we're talking about 2023, I'm sorry, More Love, Less Ego wasn't the album I was screaming and raving for. Made in Lagos, Chef's Kiss. We all know what that album has done and is still doing to this date. But if we're talking about accomplishments in 2003, he should definitely be lower in the list. At this point, I can't even give a top 5. I would just go in and give you top 4 on that list who had strong albums of the year. My number 1 would be ASAKE, followed in at number 2 with Burna Boy. Number 3, quite hard, maybe a Davido, and then a number 4 would be Rema. My reason for placing ASAKE at number 1, for the solid point that I think it's incredibly hard to release an album, even a debut album, and have it do so incredibly well. Mr. Money with the Vibe was ASAKE's first album. The whole album had hits. He could literally release every single song off that album and they will all be hits. He could do videos to every single song off that album. They'll be hits. We'll be knowing the songs word for word. And not many albums can do this. Many albums have skippables. Mr. Money with the Vibe, the whole album, 10 out of 10. Then he comes out in 2023 with his second album, Work of Art. Like I said, it's extremely difficult to follow up on an album that was so good and release another album right after it that basically matches it. And ASAKE has managed to do that. Plus all his other feats, he managed to sell out the O2 Arena at 20k. He managed to sell out the Barclays Center. Like, ASAKE for me is the top Afrobeats artist of 2023, and I'm super excited to see where he takes things in 2024. It's only up from here at this point. It's only up from here.